So I wanted to add that beyond anything, guys, if you don't pay your crew members, cannot afford to give them good food.
Yes.
3 points. 3 points. A well-fed crew.
Yes.
Happy having.
As in, if your belly is filled, people will be happy
Problems
to
are
work.
less. Hello, everyone, and welcome again to this podcast. They finally got me to do a podcast. And my name is Chris O'Day, and it's a podcast about the book I just wrote called Before You Say Action, the Indie Filmmakers Handbook for Filmmaking. And today I have three beautiful ladies with me today who are here to discuss one of the M's in the 7 M's of making films. This M is very important. It's called management. Yes, management. And to my left here is Mabola Akinde, wonderful producer, production manager, project manager. Cici Daniel, Sarah Daniel.
Hi. When I moved into production, met that really richest thing. And then I went for masterclass.
Masterclass 3.0.
3.0.
For Mabola 4.0. And 1.0 masterclass. Abajola. My production manager for Living in Bondage and my line producer for Man in the Mirror. These ladies have been very, very pivotal in management for most of the projects I've done, from Living in Bondage to Silent Disco recently to Kumbo, Man in the Mirror, and all of that. And I'm bringing you guys here to discuss some things I think are very, very important. The first one, which I think is a very heavy headache for filmmakers, is how do you get vendors, service providers, to understand that it's one thing to know how to provide a service, but to know how to provide it for filmmakers in a filmmaking setting. Management in production touches different elements which include but are not limited to handling vendors, handling cast, handling crew, documentation, handling consultants, and the entire value chain, the logistics that comes with the whole work. Because people think that filmmaking is all about creative, think about it, design it, but then there are people moving in transport, people are flying around, there are airport taxis, there's food delivery, there's turnover time, there's so much which makes filmmaking heavily on project management. We're going to start this conversation with Omotunde, and I want you to tell me, how do you get these people called vendors to understand that it's one thing to know how to provide your service, it's another thing to provide a service for filmmakers in a filmmaking situation?
Okay, so for vendors, budget just drives us crazy. You may have like a particular vendor that you've been using for a while, and then all of a sudden you have to change because that budget doesn't fit. So the first thing I would say is have multiple vendors. if you have like vehicle, have like for a particular production, I mean for one production, have like 2 or 3, because the minute you have options, it helps you. We are mobile, we are compact, we are under a lot of pressure, so you don't have enough time to begin to say, oh, my boss person, you have options, have like 3 boss people, have like 3 food meal people. And if you're shooting in Lagos, you're in a pot of beans already. You can't have somebody like your vendor for food coming all the way from mainland to the island to bring you meals. So it's just better if you have options. Have options. I know that for someone like me, I'm overly loyal. It's annoying. I can say one, but I've seen over the time that if I have options for mobile toilet, options for these, options for vehicles, the minute I need to switch, the minute I'm under pressure and I need to change, I have like another person to call. Then secondly, because you are on the clock, your vendors are the most important thing. You have to talk. I used to feel you are supposed to know now. No, don't assume. Don't be like they should know now. Meal time is for 12. Meal time is for 9. No. Don't assume. So if you have you always have to talk. Always have to talk to them like, okay, meal time is for 9. Have your production coordinator or something from 7. You're already ringing, already disturbing, because it takes a while for these vendors to actually get it into their brain that, oh, this will not be company. Oh. This will not be corporate. Oh. This one na film. They no get money. They no get. No, no, but
Wow.
it's the truth.
Wow, it's a stigma for me.
Fired.
It's a stigma for me. They don't get money. Wow, yeah, but
No, no,
true.
no, no, no. But they have to understand that we are on a budget. Okay, let me not say they don't get money, but we are on a budget.
Oh, they don't get money.
We are
to
on the clock. We're on a budget. We're on the clock. You have raging people. Like you have, and when I mean raging people, we're shooting under the sun, under a lot of pressure, with constraints. So you have to make them like continue to talk to them about timing, about where you're shooting, what you're doing, what is needed, for that particular shoot. For instance, now there was this shoot where we were supposed to have like a tanker with rain. So the guy just felt like, now water on I need now. What didn't be sprinkler? I don't need sprinkler now. And even the more water, my production coordinator was discussing and saying, I want to use it for rain scene. So the guy's mind is like, water day, tanker day, and he came without the sprinkler. Do you get? And we now had to spend like another 2 hours looking for sprinkler. So I can't overemphasize talk like a toddler. I'm so sorry. But talk like a toddler, paint the picture, ask the necessary questions. In fact, your WhatsApp, tell them to send you pictures, to send you videos, to send you just to double check. So the more you work with that vendor, the person gets the idea that, these people are different. They are not like a corporate organization. They are not an NGO. They are on the budget. They're on the clock. They're always moving. Because you may say, bring a meal to VI, and then all of a sudden, we're in Lekki. Do you get? So you need somebody that understands that pressure. At the end of the day, you guys cannot sort out your squabbles of, hey, but you've been there VI before. You can't tell me, say, make I come Lekki. All those things. So you can, communication, having options, making them understand, the nature of your work, budget, on the clock, under pressure. I think that should save you a lot.
So talking about that, so how do you now handle those people who are hell sent to destroy your production? There's some vendors who just glory in destroying our production. How do you, because you have a vendor, you've paid them the money, you've given them the toddler talk, you've sent them pictures, send them videos, send them samples, gotten their forefathers to sign the contract. Now, party is supposed to start by 4, setup is supposed to be by 12. The vendor drives boldly by 7 p.m. with their truck, hitting a back. I happened to you last month. Back. What do you do? You take a deep breath, first of all, when you start.
For someone who manages both human and resources, you have to be able to understand when to take decisive actions at certain things, when you check what is at stake compared to, the other side of things. Sometimes these people maybe come to you, how do I say it, unawares. Like the disappointment just jumps at you. But someone that is a good production person, you should always be 10 steps ahead. Have a plan B, a plan C, a plan E. So let's say, for example, we're supposed to start shoot, let's say 6 p.m., and you have given your vendors everybody call time for 3 p.m. And by 4 p.m., one of them is not showing up. Start to call another person. Start to call another person. Sometimes this calling another person might cost you. If peradventure the other person that you called is not maybe willing to refund immediately or something, but then weighing your options, is it more cost effective for me to wait for this person or to find someone else and pay the person? So constantly you're thinking on your feet, which is more effective, which is more what's the priority for me right now, and what's the best decision. As a project manager or a production manager, you are constantly thinking of what is my best option at the moment, at the moment. Sometimes you get it right, sometimes you will get it not right. But over time, along the way, experiences might have taught you how to effectively have options and to know what decision to take at a certain time. And sometimes sentiment, taking out sentiment completely to say, I am taking this person off, and call the person that you don't bother to come again, just refund my money. I've called someone else to come on board because I can't wait for you forever. So I'm actually in a WhatsApp group for production managers in Nigeria. And
Interesting. What
yes.
does it take to get into that WhatsApp?
And is sometimes it's a chaos. Like 10 people are asking for something. I need a water tanker now. I need a thing now. I need someone to give me. I need someone to do. And different people will say, oh, I have this contact. People supply contact. So we help each other. That's what we do in that WhatsApp group. We literally just help each
So
other.
I'm just curious, how does that work? Does that not make everyone, because you get your job based off your efficiency. I'm just imagining. So if everybody's helping everybody, then it means everybody's efficient. Then it means
At the end of the day, you can't do it by yourself.
interesting.
So what makes you good at what you do is that you're able to get the job done however you do it. So being resourceful also means that you know someone that can help you get the job done. So you can't just claim that you know everything,
Like,
or
I like
you know.
that. So yeah, so that's great insight. And so always have a plan B, give them time. So if they don't show up 3 hours at a time, get another one. That's why you said have multiple. I can see why you guys get your magic done. So now, keeping your crew. In the earlier episode, I've spoken to someone about keep motivating your crew. But you're teaching at Masterclass 4.0, and you said something about you can't just be people can't just be working for salary. You need to get your crew to own the project. So beyond the salary, let me ask you, Sisi, beyond salaries, what else can you do for your crew to motivate them to manage their egos and their expectations and their
Family.
hmm,
It's one thing that I have learned over 2 years now. Not over the years.
You know,
And when I said
during
over,
the
like Sarah
Biafra
from
war,
one
during the
to
Biafra war, when I was shooting in the country.
you know. So I would say turn them to family.
Hmm.
I know they cannot be on your project every time. I'm on a particular project now, Mr. Chris,
You are aware.
because
They'll be calling you.
because the owner of the projects has turned me to family, so there's this loyalty. You turn your crew to family, and it's not just saying, "Oh, we're family." No, it's being invested even beyond the sets. You have a daughter. Hey, how's baby today? How far? How was the birthday? I saw your post last week. Being invested in their personal lives. You can't just be blind to their life outside set, because the truth is, set would work if their personal life is working. That's the truth. So it's extending a hand beyond friendship, a hand of friendship to your crew members. That's one. And then secondly, on set is chaos. It's a beautiful chaos. It's crazy, like this book. It's crazy. Like from morning to night, there's barely a time of peace on set.
Actually.
There's barely, except when the camera are rolling and they say silence on
That's
set,
the only time.
and everybody goes quiet.
Even
And
though your
even
mind is still
running.
running. Literally, your
And
mind is still
even
running.
then, as
Yeah,
a
literally.
producer, your mind is everywhere. 2 days ago, I was sitting down and I jumped up immediately because I said, "There's something I'm forgetting. There's somebody I'm forgetting." Ah, God. If I'd not had that jolt, would have been something else. Now, even on set, because of the pressure that you face on set, you get us fighting. So I'm fighting with this person, or you are screaming at set, why is this thing not here? Props, why is this? Wardrobe. You are fighting. After that fight, you go back and you say, "Hi, what's up? How are you? Don't chop." That kind of thing. I had a almost a blowout with my head of production design. And after it, I was like, "You see, that's our blowout." I will call auntie. Auntie, da 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 da. Auntie, I will not call anybody. Auntie, da da da. Auntie, da da da. After everything, I walked out. I came back because that place where we were shooting was hot. I came back with a cold bottle of Five Alive Poppy because I know she likes that. And I gave her, I'm like, "Auntie, I'm not talking to you, but drink Five Alive." And I walked out. Those kind of things would keep your crew coming. Mr. Chris always says something about respect. You know, Mr. Chris will tell you. Mr. Chris says something about even the gate man can open door for you to see the organ. So your drivers, I don't call drivers driver or pilots. I call them uncle. I promise you, because most of our location drivers
Yeah,
are
always
older
older.
people. I don't call them drivers. In fact, when you call them, I would say call them pilots because not everybody like calling people. But me is uncle, and I know that is work, is a work environment, but beyond work. we
It's
should
our culture.
always-
It's our culture to call people
Yes,
brother, uncle,
respect.
sister, auntie.
So I call our drivers uncle, uncle this, uncle that. Our HOD is auntie, uncle. Oh my sugar, you know those kind of things. The morning when you come on set, even with the rush, the wardrobe assistant, babes, how far now? Did you sleep with you? I saw you talking to your boyfriend. Just those little playful time. Have moments with every single person on set. The production assistants, the wardrobe assistants, the makeup assistants. Sometimes we forget those people and we just face the HODs. Not forgetting that when the HOD goes sick, Ibele go wrong, and you will need those assistants to step
cover
up. Sometimes I've met with producers that have issues communicating with the assistants. Like producers would just, when I was an assistant, they look past an assistant and they just look at the HOD. And I'm like, you are forgetting that this person is the backbone of the HOD. So I feel like we need to draw people close to be able to give staying power. And you see those HODs, when you turn them to family, they are loyal. So when your budget is going left, right, and center, they would stay with you. That's just
If I
Amazing.
may,
Yeah,
if
please
I
go
may,
ahead. Go ahead.
if I may.
Amazing.
One thing that when you talk about creativity and passion are side by side. And I personally don't believe that there is any money you can pay crew members. I personally
It's not
don't.
worth
Even if you pay them like their time's worth, I don't think so. So one of the best times that you can really draw them close is in pre-production, and that is selling your idea to them. What makes your story different? So if I have like a gaffer that has never done, he has done action, thriller, everything, but has never done intimate, soft scenes, and I've seen his filmography. I've seen that Baba never do this kind of thing before. I would want to see this story is different. I've seen what you. I will have that conversation with him and sell him the passion. Why am I making that film? And that's what makes it. It takes it from
just a job.
this is a job to
This
this is my
our
own
project.
creative project. And in a way, it unlocks even how they think. You know, when there's a challenge in your production, they're able to think beyond the box and say, this is my work. If I'm going to win an award for this, how would I do this? So that pre-production time, that's why there's this thing where they say, any meeting where there is no food, that's not a
it's not
meeting.
it.
Yeah, you know, when you people are, eating
Going
meat pie
down.
together, talking about these things, I want to shoot this, I want to, like, beyond the script, the ideas playing in your mind, the emotions you feel with each scene, these things are infectious of some sort. Yeah.
So I wanted to add that beyond anything, guys, if you don't pay your crew members, cannot afford to give them good food. Yes.
3 points. 3 points. A well-fed crew.
Yes.
Happy crew. Have it.
As in, if your belly is filled, people will be happy
Problems
to
are
work.
less.
Exactly. Even if you cannot afford to pay them millions, just ensure that they're happy with their
This example I
food.
always give about how I was going to hire a DOP one time, I think like 5-6 years ago. And the guy told me that my project was clashing with a colleague's project, Kemi Adetiba's project. And I said to him, it's your call, depends on how much you want. I'm offering you a better amount. I didn't know her then. Even I knew her. I said, depends on how much you want. And he said, Baba, no matter how much you offer me, I said, babe, one thing I like about herself is if I go there, and they chop well. I was strangely as a DOP, so he's going to collect maybe like back there like $1 million, $2 million. But he was talking about the food, not about the amount. Just I think somewhere it's the value he felt being on her set. There were things that she was doing for him that obviously I wasn't even providing because he doesn't even know me that much to provide for him. So I'm just saying that these things go
Long way.
especially in this part of the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying we're hungry people, but
When rain is falling, at least once in a while, buy 3 in 1 coffee. and just share. I do a lot. A producer called me and I gave her a budget and I put crafts. And she's like, there's no need for crafts. I say, I'm sorry, I don't do projects if there's no craft. And she's like, how? I say, see, the craft doesn't have to be big. It's carton of biscuits. As this gaffer, they say, they carry the hungry, give him biscuits. It's 15 naira biscuits. There's sweets, there's sugar.
There's a thought in it.
It's rain. If once rain is falling and they are coming on set, they'll be like, this rain. But you give them a cup of hot coffee, they're good to go. So it's just these little things that will just, say.
I hear we have to sign off. So I was going to say something. I don't think it's in this book, where I wrote in an article I was preparing for management, and I said in the production there are 4 major things that needs to be managed. Finances, obviously, which everybody talks about. People, energy, and time. I want to stay a lot more with energy. You can call it vibes. You can call it. You see, one thing I do on set, because recently I'm no more involved in the nitty gritty of running off set, because maybe I don't know what it is. But in Nigeria, there's this forceful growth. Wow! Shots fired. Thank you for reminding of the day. But I just realized that I could manage the energy in the room. I could be that spark of hope. When things are down, you try to look at me. You will never see me lose hope. You will never. I don't know what it means to be hopeless about anything. Then 2 is that smile, that genuine, honest hug or handshake or how you do, or even just remembering people's names. Some people were middle children out of 20 children, dull at school, teachers didn't like them, didn't have a coach that taught them, so they've never been remembered by anyone. So when you walk past and say, hey, you that girl, yo, hey, gaffer girl, you remind them of how much rejection they face in their lives. To just say, hey, Rebecca, please help me move that thing. I'm like, God knows my name. That little thing. Then that smile, that have you been in the hold on, you don't sleep. Try sleep. Just go take an hour and rest. Those little things helps to maintain, because you could have a well-managed project where the finances are managed, you are on time, the crew have been paid their salaries and all of that. But if you don't manage the energy in the room, have you watched some films where it's a comedy, but you can tell that something is missing from this? That's where it comes from. So I think we need to, while you're managing all the vendors and the extras and the actors and everybody, we need to understand that these 4 elements are very key. How you keep the money, obviously you need to keep your money, keep the people, keep the time, but also keep the energy, the vibe. We need to sign off on this. Thank you very much for watching this podcast. Join us next week on Before You Say Action.
And make sure you buy the book.
Before you say
I do. Wow. Okay, thank you.